So we got Gary Greene, Mr. Greenbacks, as I affectionately refer to him, on the call tonight. How you doing, Mr. Gary?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful. Just got off the phone with an elite prospect that's going to onboard here in the next day or two. So
Awesome.
doing fantastic, definitely.
Now, this past week, I don't want to overspeak, but it seems like you've had a couple elites, couple plus, a sales rep. How many sales have you made? I mean, and what's the makeup of those sales?
Yeah, I've been the sales. Yeah, I mean, consistently coming in as always. Yesterday on Friday, made two sales. Sold a plus package that was 1,000. Sold at a rep package that was 750. So that was 1,750 just on one day on Friday yesterday. And then that's not counting all the referral marketing money. There was the residual money, the digital money from the online store, just the other income streams that are in place, via the product line that we have, here at Cherry Wilson 3. But the call center definitely is a big, we have many people that are making six figures alone plus just in the call center. And I do that consistently,
And
for years and years and years. So,
you've been with us, going on 6-7 years now?
Yeah, I've been with you over 6 years at the elite level. So, definitely one of the best business decisions I've made in my career. I can count on one hand, Terry, the great business decisions I've made in my career. And this is definitely one of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it's been our privilege to have you. I mean, you have been a rock star since you showed up for sure. But just to go back, didn't you have a couple elites on Tuesday or Wednesday last week as well?
Yeah, I had two elites that onboarded last week. So, most of the enrollments are pluses and elites where, you make 1,000 or 1,500. I'd say the majority of them, 80% of them, are at the higher levels.
Yeah.
Because they want access to more income streams. But I sold two elites last week, new members that came on. They're excited, about all the products that they have access to. And then also the mastermind meetings that come along with the elite member.
Yeah.
A lot of my elite members really resonate and are excited about those meetings because that's with elite members only. And that's where you're essentially opening up the doors to your business behind the scenes in a much higher level access, there. So people can, benefit, from that.
Sure.
So,
well, they're getting to see the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm counting 5 just since, if I'm counting right. So that's at least the minimum. I knew there's like 5 or 6, just this past week. And so, and you're basically, and I'm going to get this email after the show tonight, inevitably. What's he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing? And so, for you guys listening, he's taking the system and just using it. Naturally, he's a pro and he's been with us for quite a while. So he's got his own little secret sauce that he sort of sprinkles on the TW3 methodology, but it's not like he has different tools or anything. And so, Gary, when you get a new member that's onboarding and they see the numbers that you're doing and getting excited, which they should, because it just proves that it's possible. And if you work the system works. What do you tell them first? What's the first thing a new member at TW3, a new person coming on with Gary Greene, what do you tell them what they need to focus on first and start doing so that they can realize quick success as quick as possible?
Yeah, so that would be to follow the steps 1 through 6, within the back office, once they enroll. And then also, give them some insights on the scripts, on how to get prepared with that, where they can like halfway sound like they know what they're talking about, get their vocabulary down with our product line, so that way they can sound, halfway comfortable.
Sure.
That's one big benefit that helps brand new people getting started, because you don't have to sound like you're an expert. You don't have to it doesn't have to be an award-winning performance is what I tell a lot of people. Okay. But you got to get yourself where you can kind of, relax a little bit and be able to go and follow our scripts. So I have some certain things that I, tell people to get prepared with those scripts.
Yeah.
And then I'd say put their heart and soul into it. I mean, the secret to my success is found in the daily routine. So you also, I mean, if you were successful in another business, I mean, you're going to take that over. That's going to spill over into Terry Wilson 3. When you're following up with people, you're answering questions, you're making yourself available. I mean, you have people that are high 6-figure earners. These are tools that they already have in their toolbox.
Right.
Okay. So that would be one thing there. And then also I would say, just if you have questions, you want to reach out and ask me questions. If you don't understand something, follow back up. I'm a tool that's there to help them with their business.
Sure.
Okay. And they can use that tool as they need, because we have people, as you know, Terry, people from all walks of life essentially are in this business. Okay. Somebody that's brand new, that's never really done much on a computer. We can help that person, propel from there, to go from there.
Right.
Then we have people that are kind of average, that have average average computer experience. And we have the experts and advanced,
right.
The big gurus. So, I would tell any of them just to follow back up with the questions, they have, and follow up. And that way you get those few basic questions answered. And then once we have you trained, the training can take, I would say, Terry, as little as 2 days. It could be done as, 7 days. Some people want to train themselves. It's still at their own pace. They can train themselves over 30 days.
Right.
Okay. It's still at their own pace. So I would say, just follow our instructions and come to the meetings.
Yeah.
80% of the meetings, that's going to greatly benefit you. And then just, trust what you're doing. And that's where I see people having success. They're following the instructions.
Yeah.
They're coming to the meeting. We're answering the questions. And then we see them make the first sale. Like, Terry, I had a lady, she made her first sale on her second phone call. The second call.
Wow.
Okay. Now that normally doesn't happen. Okay.
Wow.
You know this and I know this.
No,
right?
that's
the
a
second phone call. But then I have people that, they're going to make their sale anywhere 5 days to 3 weeks. And then also you have people that take a year.
Yeah.
Just because
that's the exception too. That's the exception too.
Yeah,
but it happens, and people need to know that, and it can happen, right?
Definitely without a doubt. So, just basically, just follow the instructions. If I had to wrap that part of it up, just follow the instructions that we put forth. And at the end of the day, I'm a tool here to help, help have success in whoever's business, and then help them along the way. But I do coach and train, to get to that first sale within a shortest amount of time period.
Right.
To get laser focused and get that first sale. Because once you make the first sale at Terry Wilson 3, it's going to do something for you. Something about making money, Terry, it just does something to you psychologically.
It does.
Right. And that day, it's a big confidence booster. I mean, it's going to move you more than one step ahead. It's probably going to move you a couple of steps ahead.
Yeah.
And then once you make that first sale, you could say to new recruits can say, hey, now I want to make 2 sales a week.
Right.
Or I want to make 5 sales a week. Whatever they're looking to do with their time and their income, we'll show you exactly what you need to be doing, week in, week out, in regards to the business and the leads and the income streams, definitely. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you definitely, and I would say out of everybody we work with and all of our elite trainers, you've got to be probably, if your name wasn't Greenbacks, and we affectionately call you that because naturally, I mean, you're bringing in, if you were a Braves player, if you were Josh Donaldson on the Braves, we'd call you the Rainmaker. I mean, just because you make it rain, right? I mean, you're bringing in sales all the time. But if your name wasn't Greenbacks, I would call you Mr. Hustle. Secondly, because you don't lay down. I mean, you're working the system, you're working it. And, I think, that's something that people need to know about, if you want the big bucks. Now you play hard and you're off, on the boat, down there a lot playing, but when you're on, you're on. And, I think it would help people to understand that, when you're doing your business, do your business and hustle at it and make it happen. Cause you don't have one foot, on, in the phone trying to talk to someone and then the other one watching daytime TV or this or that or the other. I mean, you are, Charlie Hustle over there.
Yeah, yeah. So I work about 45 hours a week, right around there. But it's not an 8 to 5. I mean, I work when I want, I take off when I want, but it all comes out to about 45 hours a week. There's a lot of tools that are in the Terry Wilson 3 system that automate your time, that enable you to do substantial business, whether you're doing Terry Wilson 3, whether you're in another business, coaching, real estate, insurance, HVAC, merchant services. The majority of the product line is used for business.
Right.
Okay. So whether it's creating leads, doing the marketing to those leads, and then turning those leads into sales for a product, good, or service. So the tools that are within the platform, I use, to, do the big business that I do. I have on average, I'm making, $5,000 a week just in the call. Okay. I have, $3,000 weeks, $6,000 weeks. I even have $10,000 weeks just in the call center, which is, when you think about it, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
So, but I work, to do that. And
right.
You are true about that. I'm not, I'm working when I'm working. So, and then also when I take off, and I'm taking off to kind of reset, so I'm fresh when I'm talking to somebody, or I'm, coaching somebody, I'm answering questions, whatever I'm doing, I try to give it 100%.
Right.
And if people resonate with that and they can pick up on that, too. So that's also been a secret to my success, there, that also do want to help people at the end of the day. That's why I have a coaching link, for my clients to, book directly with me. They need to have, some time, set aside talking to me uninterrupted. I make that available. So again, we're just, that's an auto scheduler for people that are new on here that may not know that type of technology, but it's an auto scheduler where people are essentially booking time with you. Okay. Right. And then as you know, Terry, and new people that are on this podcast, that one tool within itself creates when you have leads coming in, you have people literally waiting in line to talk to you, okay, with your lead.
Yeah, speak to that. Not because that's how you manage your support. So when people on board with Gary, they're going to be supported, and they've got access to his calendar, and can access the time to have the training and support they need. But talk to the people that are new to TW3 or just hearing this podcast about how effective that is to, you're not out cold calling. You're not out, beating down the bushes trying to find someone to speak with, but they're literally standing in line, booking time to speak to you. Speak to that a little bit about how you use that in your business.
Yeah, I would say that one tool, that's one of the products that are in the platform, is an auto scheduler. And we give you training and tools on how to set that up and tweak it the right way to where it's effective in regards to one's daily schedule, managing your time, making your time more valuable for yourself is what you're doing with this auto scheduler. Okay. So that enables me to have leads that are pre-qualified, processed leads, okay, that are pre-qualified, waiting in line to talk to me. So that's there. Just think about that. That within itself creates a environment where you have a high level of position, just because, you got people literally waiting in line. People can pick up on that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it creates a good atmosphere, for sales or for answering questions. People are like, wow, I want to be a part of this. That's like, because you deal with like a lot of businesses, not a lot, but there's a good amount of businesses like a business owner or somebody that's in a business and they don't have any leads, or they have very few leads. Okay. And they need systems and tools and training in place, to get a lot of leads coming in.
Right.
And then, and be able to do that within the Terry Wilson 3 platform. And then when you have that problem, then you can, which is a good problem, right? Then you can have an auto scheduler connected to that to manage all those leads, okay, where you don't have, like somebody answering the phone and trying to work the phone. This is technology that's plugged in, to be able to do it with one individual. Okay. And you can manage a substantial business, just by using an auto scheduler. And I tell people every so often, that's probably, in the top 5 things, that's one of the products that I really like. It just enables me to really explode my business and expand my time, and I'm working, and at the end of the day, I'm working smart, not hard,
right?
By using this auto scheduler. Okay. And there's a lot of different auto schedulers on the market, but we, have a few different ones that are used within our membership base. And then we also give you training and coaching, on how to set it up. Now there's different ways to set up auto schedulers. And we also, depending on the size of the business, so you get that coaching and training, that comes, too as well. But, overall, I would say, I just love the auto scheduler, Terry. I got that from you years ago. So, man.
Well, half the time is you going back about it. Yeah, you're going back and forth. Well, when can you meet? Well, when can you meet? Well, can we talk here? And so much time is wasted. Whereas if you have this funnel that is just driving traffic to it, and then they, at the end of it, if they want to speak, they click on a button, they see when the times are available, they book it. They're then given the option if they need to change a time, something comes up, they can.
Right.
And then the only time you're speaking to them and the only people you're speaking with is people that have said, listen, Gary, I've seen what you offer. I like what I've heard, and I would like to talk more about it. That is just powerful. So your prospecting and all of that goes into marketing has already been taken care of. It's just now just raw sales. Here's what I do. Here's what it costs. What say you?
Yeah. Well, it's night and day from back when I first started with you, Terry, over 6 years ago. I was broke, busted, and disgusted, just like, you would say. On the back end of a divorce, financially done, looking to make decisions to build myself back up and move up back the mountain. So back then, I was working the phone, no auto scheduler. Phones ringing, but when I moved up to the elite, then I was able to use these tools and really just organize the business in a really, beautiful way, in regards to leads. So, but yeah, you're right. By the time I'm talking to them, there's people, Terry, waiting in line to talk to them. So I don't care what business you're in, what with leads, when you have a situation like that, you just don't hear about that every day. That's a really, beautiful thing, as I would say. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's powerful, and you use it quite effective. Talk to me a little bit about, I've known you for 6 years, but our audience has heard you from time to time, and they'll hear me say greenbacks and that. But let the people know, what background do you come from as far as businesses, and what have you sold before? Give us a little insight of the Gary Greene world as far as his business acumen and what he's done before TW3.
Right. Yeah. So I have a 20-year career in sales and marketing. So that's my primary experience, there. I used to sell different franchises, from jewelry franchises, other products. But I would say the great majority of my career has always had a gift of communication, and talking, with people. That would be one of the things that I just really worked on my whole business career, there. I'd say the majority of it would be sales. I've done hard close sales, where you close the close and you go for the close 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And then you get the close, and then you give it back to, just really higher level, sales, closing experience. And so I would say that's the majority of my career, is that there. And it helps me, over in this business, because you don't really need all those tools with this, because you're just answering questions.
Right.
And it's real simple and straightforward. Okay. So there's no high pressure sales. Okay, where you're trying to close somebody and you got to get this product. It's really shiny. this is why you have to have it today. There's none of that. That's not here. Okay. So it's like I said, just real simple, basic, straightforward. And so therefore I'm not putting out a lot of energy, there as I would when I'm, in a sales type of mode mentality, there. But yeah, I'd say the majority of my career is basically sales. I've sold a few different products over my career, different types of franchises, would be, more or less my primary experience, background,
Sure.
if you will, there.
Cool. So, in all of that experience, I think one of the distinction I heard you say that I want to draw attention to is at TW3, because of the nature of what it is, because you just heard Gary say people are just standing in line waiting to speak because he's got leads on demand. He's not in a sales environment where it's close. You got to buy. He doesn't feel that pressure because if the guy here doesn't buy, there's one right behind him that's just as qualified that he's about to speak to. Other than that, what are some other distinctions that you find in your current business from the other businesses that you were in before? There's some differences that you'd like to explain to the audience of what they might have experienced before in a sales and business background versus how it works at TW3.
Right. Yeah, I would say the multiple streams of income, definitely. Okay, because that's how you're building wealth. You just don't have one stream of income coming in. So I would say that right there. So at the elite level, for new people on the podcast tonight, there's a residual income. Terry Wilson gives you $50 of the monthly $97 admin fee on all your business. Okay, so you have 100 accounts at $50 reoccurring a month. That's $5,000 a month. You have 200 accounts. That's $10,000 a month. You have 300 accounts. That's $15,000 a month residual income. So that would be one of the great examples of the residual income. We also have the online store. We also give you products to sell to your clients, so you're making digital income. That way. Then we also have what I also like would be the referral marketing partners. Okay, where you're making money without selling anything, and you're helping your customers with different products and services that they may need, and you're getting paid regardless. Just for somebody being on the phone for 60 seconds, you get paid. Somebody putting in their email address, you get paid. Somebody putting in their zip code, you get paid. So we show you how to make money without selling something, and you're transferring leads essentially is the concept, there. So that'd be another thing that I would like to point out, as another example of another income stream. But overall, Terry, I would say just the many different income streams that one can put into place, for themselves, would be that's the first thing that jumps out to me there, because I'm able to not put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Sure.
Okay. So you can, diversify, that way, by having these other income streams that we show you how to build and create. Like you've been doing this over 11 years. I've been with you over 6 years. That's a strong statement. I tell my clients, that's a very strong statement. People can really read in behind the scenes. Hey, this guy's been there over 6 years. He's not going to be there wasting his time, for this amount of time. I mean, people are going to be able to, most people can pick up on that, very quickly. Okay. Yeah. So this is not something that was just, born on the internet last year.
Right.
We've been, it's, has a good brand and reputation. I know you, Terry. I mean, I've been dealing with you for many years, and, I've told you this before. I mean, I like how you stand behind the business with your name, and then you do what you say you're going to do. I've noticed that from the very beginning, and that's one of the reasons why I also wanted to get a part, of the brand and the business, there, that you got somebody that's going to stand behind, you. And that transcends over to the membership base. I tell my clients, that we have a good core group of memberships or members, within the business. And even at the conference last year, even I had a member there made that comment, hey, I've been to conferences before. The people around here that I'm seeing at this conference, we have a conference every year in March in Greenville, South Carolina, is what I'm in reference to.
Yeah.
But we have a conference every year. So one member of mine said, "Hey, the people that are around here are a really good core group of people."
Yeah.
And he told me this like 3 times, that evening.
Well, that was
like,
Miller time. The people need to know.
Miller time.
Yeah,
definitely.
The guy that we interviewed a couple weeks ago that made $143,000 plus in just 10 months after having to sort of like Gary, having to walk through some family situations and different things and challenges. He came on. Gary was the one that recruited him. He is Gary's guy. Gary trained him. And that's the guy that we just interviewed, which I love, showing him off a little bit because it goes against that whole, charge that, well, it's just something you buy to resell. No, I mean, this guy hasn't sold any TW3. He's just using it and making money.
Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that out that Miller time is who Gary's referencing, and Chris came on with Gary.
Yeah, Christopher Miller is a rock star.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, this guy is, he's a go-getter. I mean, he gets out there and makes it happen. He works, smart, too, as well within our platform. And he just uses Cherry Wilson 3 product line just for his business and creating leads and marketing to those leads. And then the training that's provided is wrapped around that behind the scenes with everything that's going on with the company. So he's using all those tools to, help them propel his business. And he's just, it's just great to see somebody, having success.
Right.
And, stuff like that. Oh, yeah, definitely, for sure. But anyway, I forgot where I was at. So.
Yeah, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I'm bad about that. You were talking about. You were talking about at the conference. Chris came up to you and said just the quality of people we had.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
In the core.
So at the conference, I mean, just the core. Yeah, just to reiterate, just a good core group of people. There. Miller time. I mean, this spelling bee. You got myself, Greenback. You got Mark. I mean, you got just a good core group of people that are there. And so I thought about it and I was like, I said, yeah, I'm like, Miller Tom told me 3 times. He says, no, Gary, I'm telling you. I go, okay. So I kind of was, thinking about it. I said, he's right. I've been doing this for 6 years. So, I already know this from a long time ago that
right.
It's I know you and I know, the majority of the people are, a good core group of people, but to bring it back up to me to think about it again, to reiterate it, I was like, you know what? People need to hear that because it is definitely 100% true. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to kind of make that comment.
Yeah, and I think 'cause you're like me, you're around it so much, you just take it for granted that these people that we have. And one of the things we started doing different a couple years ago, even in our weekly training, which is even in our podcast, is we had that live chat. We started streaming it and using live chat. And
right.
And I think as I'm watching these trainings and stuff and going back and making sure something was said correctly, or if I need to make sure I refine or really hone in what I'm saying, because I want people to hear clearly what I'm trying to communicate, I'll sort of pay attention to the chat. And it's just people going back and forth. I says, I think I'm just the background noise now. They're coming to just talk to one another. and I'm just like, I'm the old guy in the corner. Would he shut up so we can chat?
You created a monster and you're just watching it happen, So
I know it.
Yeah, I know when you switched it over to that live chat and so, you always try new stuff. You're always pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
I love that about you. You do that consistently. And so that was just an example of it there. So, it's, people see that, like the feedback on the other side of that, Terry, people really resonate with that because that gives a transparency, about the business that people are communicating. You see members, talking, chatting back and forth.
Sure.
And then people that are interested, in the company for whatever the reason that they're looking to, get on board. with the platform. They're able to maybe get a question, they can put out that'll get answered live. I mean, that's a live feed, that people can, be a part of. And that's just, that's another thing you don't really see, that kind of transparency where you have a live chat, connected with the video. Usually it's a private chat.
Right.
What you normally see is private, it's, here. I mean, I really enjoy that part of it because all the members are coming in there. Hey, how you doing? And, and you have different specials. You'll have, hey, I'm giving free leads out, or, we're doing this today, or you can have a book, or we're going to give you some tickets to the conference coming up in March 2020, in Greenville, South Carolina, which is, just, makes it hey, I get something, a little kind of extra, value here, keeps people, interested, too. So yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think it's been a great, I think it's just one more of those things that I just stumbled upon and got right. It wasn't because I was, this master planner that just strategically figured, no, I just stumbled into it. I was like, well, let's try this and see if it works. And it did. And in today's world with what do you call it? These, people that like to, troll, these online trollers, we were sort of like, well, cause anytime you're in the business opportunity, entrepreneurial space, you're going to have a certain segment of society that just thinks that anything that's commission based, anything that's not, guaranteed salary or hourly, well, that's got to be a scam. And they're out there and they like trolling and stuff like that. So that was something we had to at least think about. But, River and the guys here, when we do it live, they do a great job of just sort of, cause we probably about every live stream we'll have one or two, people that like to misbehave, how it is. But, I think for the most part, cause no one can say, well, that's just Terry. No, you can hear Terry, you're hearing Gary tonight. You heard, Misspelling Bee last week. You heard Miller Time the week before. The week before that, you heard Tom from Chi-Town. Next week, I think we've got Captain Quackenbush on the docket. Maybe if we can corral him, and we've got some other people that's coming that I haven't even reached out to. So it's not just me. It's not just Gary. There are people, and like you said, you had a member just on board, and it's the exception, not the norm. But it's possible that within their second call, already making money. So
second call. Yeah. I had a lady, her second lead was a sale. Hey, that's exciting stuff. That's not the norm. Okay.
Sure.
Usually the first sale can be 5 days to 3 weeks.
Sure.
Depending on, we have people from all walks of life. So different skill sets, different sales background, different expertise and just personality. So at the end of the day, we're here to help you wherever, they're at, with whatever experience that they have, there.
But the point is you can. The point is you can. It's there. The opportunity is there if you'll just take it and quit letting people talk you out of doing greater things for yourself. Gary, you could have been like me. Life throws you a curveball and you're broke, busted, and disgusted. You could have walked away with your tail between your legs and say, well, I guess I'm going to go find a job at Walmart and greet people as they come in and just settle for whatever minimal life will give you. Or you could get back up and swing for fences, and look at you. 6 years over, averaging $5,000 a week. And I know you've sold a few, and that residual money, I don't know how many, you've got in your book of business, but I know you're doing well. And, I sent a ton of emails to Reagan. So I know Reagan's always getting these emails about the admin fees and stuff. And then, and he's a rock star, too, is, how he handles, the ticket support. Well, don't talk him up too much. I'll have to give him a raise. Just say he does he does well enough to get paid what he's being paid.
Okay, now let me give some negative feedback now.
I'm messing with him, and he does a great job. And I won't say that because he's my son. He does do a great job.
And then on the podcast too, you have different people coming on. You have Yeah, Bill come on. Lindsay's there for the most part, too, as well. She's a rock star, Miss CBD. People always enjoy seeing her. River behind the scenes. I saw him on the show with the last podcast before. He's always got some comical thing to say. He's got a real type of unique type of personality that brings to the show. So that's a good dynamic there. But everybody that you bring in on the podcast and that helps out and, contributes to, the business and the brand. I mean, people see that and they really, I get feedback from it all the time, that they really see there's real people, behind the scenes, not just you, in a closet somewhere, right?
Yeah.
They're like, there's other people that are behind the scenes, that are, a part of the brand and the business.
No, it's a real business with real people working in it. And, it's a real family. I mean, from you're part of it and your people are part of it and their people are part of it. That's why when I'm speaking to members, I always greet them with, "Hey, TW3 family," because that's how I feel. That we're just one big family that are all pulling together in the same direction. And that is to improve the lives of ourselves and the lives of other people that we come in contact with. Well, Gary, I've been on the phone with you now for almost an hour, and I know you've got, matter of fact, for those who don't know this, when we're recording this conversation on a Saturday morning. And when I call Gary, he says, "Hey," because he called me and I was running late. So it's not his fault. I was running about 5-10 minutes late. So I call him back and he goes, "Can you wait just a few minutes? I'm on the phone with an elite member on a Saturday morning." I mean, this is where this guy's nonstop. He's working, he's making it happen. And I know because of your busy schedule and client base that you probably got people on hold right now so you can have this conversation. So I want to honor, I want to honor your time. But any party?
Yeah, I was talking to an elite prospect that's ready to onboard at the elite level. Okay, she says she's at a point in her life. It wasn't good for her previously, where she was at her life and the time that she had available and everything. But she said it's perfect for her now. And so to hear her story, it's just she's making life decisions. And, we're a part of that. I'm a part of that. You're a part of that. The company, the brand. And that's more or less what I hear on a regular basis, too. I mean, like I made a life decision too back when I started. So same thing with this client, that I talked to this morning. So, definitely. I wanted to say that, throw that in anyway.
Absolutely. You're talking to an elite prospect that's going to be onboarding. This is Saturday, even though we're going to be playing this conversation on a Monday night. So if you guys wrap up your business today, that's one more elite sale before this week is over, which pushes you 6-7 sales this week. So guys, the deal is real. You just stay active, you stay involved, you stay committed to helping other people like Gary has. I mean, Gary, where would Chris Miller be if he didn't meet Gary Greene? Well, Miss Spelling Bee came on with Gary. We've had so many. And so, you're genuinely helping people rediscover, the greatness that was put into them before they ever were, just grabbing a hold of it and having a strategy to grab a hold of so that they can realize, their financial dreams and goals. And that's what it's all about. That's what gets me excited. And I know you're the same way. It's one thing, because I know you're making great money and that's great, but look at the people that you've helped that's making good money as well. Yeah,
definitely. Those stories, I hear people when they make their first sale, they're contacting you because they have some questions, getting it onboarded and stuff like that. And that's just great to hear. When somebody makes their first sale, I mean, that's just like, I had a guy, I think I mentioned this before. I had a guy, he made his first sale, right?
Yeah.
He called me up and said, "Hey, Gary, I made my first sale." I said, "Hey, congratulations." I said, "That's great. He said, "I'm so excited. I think my neighbors heard me next door." I was like, "Hey, I know what you mean. You're walking on cloud nine." I said, "Hey, I got you. But that type of stuff, it's fun to hear that. You're you got excitement, helping people, and the product line is used in so many different ways. So you're like I tell people, I'm a coach, I'm a recruiter, also a consultant because you're helping the client in many different verticals, there.
Yeah, because I mean, you're helping people find hourly and salary jobs that this isn't right for, or entrepreneurs,
Correct.
And so you're never in this position where, oh my gosh, I got to make a sale to make money. No, you've got ways of making money and helping people and doing right by people at the same time, which just makes this business model beautiful, I think. So that's awesome. Gary, thank you for your time. If people want to connect and contact you, how can they get a hold of you?
They get a hold of me a couple of ways, so they can go to my website, GaryGreene1.com, Gary, the Green with the E on the end, the number 1.com, or they can contact me. They can, via text or call the number 281-870-2644, and you get in contact with me that way, there. Okay.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the one, the only Mr. Greenback. You hear me reference him all the time on the show so that you don't think I'm just talking to the air, that it's not a real person. There's the one and only. And if you come to the conference, you'll get to meet with him and several other people that we have on the show. And Gary and some of the others are actually going to be live here in the studio with us the Wednesday night before the conference starts. I can't wait for that. So you'll be able to ask them questions live. We'll have a live podcast that Wednesday night and have all of the, as many as we can. I know we got 4, and they're going to be in, and we're going to be talking and cutting up, and they'll be on the panel here. Matter of fact, I might even put Greenbacks back here behind the controls.
Oh my God! Well, I heard. Hey, Millerton told me you're going to be cooking baby back ribs or something.
We're gonna have Carolina barbecue. We're gonna do it up right, baby. Don't you worry. And,
all right.
You and my wife share a lot of the same taste in beverage, and so there'll be beverages that you and her will probably enjoy more than I do. I'm more of a umbrella man in soft drinks. But anyway, Greenbacks, it was great to have you on, and thank you so much for all that you do at TW3 and all the people that you help. You are a rock star, and I don't just say that affectionately. It's just the proof is in the pudding, and so I can't wait to see you coming this March in the conference.
Yeah, I appreciate all the kind words, Terry. Yeah, I enjoyed this over the 6 years has been fun, working with you, just learning along the way. I've learned a lot, a ton of stuff online. So, I'm really grateful for that education, that I'm continuing, there too within the business. So, but yeah, same thing here. I enjoy, it's like family, too. Yeah. So I definitely agree with that 100%, and also appreciate all the hard work you do behind the scenes to make me, successful, too as well. So, that basically you're the number one source and solution for all your problems. So you can, take it from there.
Take it from there. Well, Greenbacks, here's to your next 6 years of making $10,000 a week on average.
There you go. Sounds good.
All right, brother. Talk to you later.